Could I get a ruling on that objection though, ma'am?
It's denied.
Thank you.
I'm not going to get into your attorney-client privilege, but I need to know if he's ever seen the police report.
I didn't object to it.
All right, then maybe I misheard. Is that federal court?
No, it's
Then you will
not
be in
federal
here.
court.
You will be here.
And with regard to your earlier statement about him making a decision about how to plead,
How to plead, how to proceed.
Well,
today we're in Judge Boyd's courtroom and it's complete chaos. Not the kind you'd expect from a rowdy defendant, but from the defense lawyer himself. This guy's either having the worst day of his career or just doesn't care that the whole courtroom's watching him crash and burn. Judge Boyd is trying to hold it together, but you can see she's 2 seconds away from exploding. The defendant's sitting there confused, realizing his own lawyer might be his biggest problem. We're talking missed evidence, zero communication, and a defense that's basically self-destructing in real time. I've never seen such a useless, selfish, and incompetent lawyer before, and somehow he's doubling down on it. What happens when the person meant to defend you is the one making things worse? Let's go ahead and dive in.
makes the objection that the filing of the motion to revoke by the present district attorney's office is a manifestation of the very conflict of interest that causes the assistant attorney generals to be here. And so I object to that as a product of a conflict of interest. Because Mr. Gonzalez had represented Mr. Senor previous to that, and ought not to have been the one to file this motion to revoke.
All right, well, the part of the motion that was filed afterwards, which is the supplemental, the Attorney General is waiving that. Is that correct?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to proceed.
But the first, pardon my knees. Mm-hmm. But the first motion was filed by the same conflicted district attorney. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, I object to that proceeding on that conflict of interest action.
All right.
May we proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Would you like to respond?
No, you may proceed.
The state calls our first witness, Officer.
Just one moment before you call your witness. Mr. Senior, I'm going to read the violations. I need to know if they're true or not true. Do you understand?
Yes. Could I get a ruling on that objection though, ma'am?
It's denied.
Thank you.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 13th day of February 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Samudio Charlie Sr., committed the offense of driving while intoxicated in violation of condition number 1. How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Not true.
All right. Defense?
Yes, if you'll give me a moment.
All right, we're going to go off the record. Can you please, Ms. Ferguson, if you can mute us and stop video? All right, Mr. Senior,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to place you under oath. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Excuse me,
All
ma'am.
right.
He has a right to remain silent. If I could understand the nature of the inquiry, I'd be able to properly advise him in that.
Yes, I want to know if this is the first time he's seen police reports. This hearing was originally scheduled on September 13th. We were called back today for a contested hearing. I want to know if this is the first time that Mr. Senior is seeing the police report for something that he's charged with. He's on probation for continuous violence against family. He's looking at potentially going to prison. I haven't, of course, made a ruling on whether or not I'm finding any of it true, but he's looking at up to 5 years in prison. The court's concern is that the new number 1s in this case is a driving while intoxicated. The officer who's testifying is the witness related to the driving while intoxicated case. I want to know if this is the first time that Mr. Senior has seen a police report about this case, because it is the court's opinion, rightly or wrongly, that in order for somebody to knowingly and intelligently make a decision on whether or not they're pleading true or not true to something, they would have to have reviewed the police report. And I'm being told by Mr. Senior that he's never seen the police report. So I want to know if he has ever seen the police report. I'm not going to get into your attorney-client privilege, but I need to know if he's ever seen the police report.
So he already told you he hasn't, not under oath. I can reaffirm to you that I haven't gone through the report with him. I have talked to him about this fact situation. What I'm doing now that you see me sharing with him is in response to the officer's testimony that I'm asking him some things about it prior to me cross-examining the officer.
The judge can already tell something's off here. The vibe in this room screams unprepared and unprofessional. You can literally see her mentally connecting the dots, realizing this defense lawyer might be a bigger liability than his own client. She's asking simple questions, and this man's stumbling like he's never seen a courtroom before. This could easily become one of those rare cases where the lawyer ends up in hotter water than the defendant himself. He's claiming the bond violation isn't true, but then admits he hasn't even shown his client the police report. Imagine being the defendant and finding out in front of a judge that your lawyer's been keeping you in the dark. That's not defense, that's sabotage. The judge knows it too. You can see her trying to stay composed, but that look says, do I really have to babysit a licensed attorney today? She's asking basic procedural questions he should have handled weeks ago, and when a judge starts protecting the defendant from their own lawyer, that tells you everything about who's actually doing their job in this room. I've got to give her credit. Judge Boyd's patience is surgical. She's holding firm to make sure this guy gets a fair chance, even if his own lawyer clearly doesn't care to give him one.
State,
Yes,
are you able to come back on Monday?
yes, I can.
All right, officers, are you able to be back here on Monday?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's the court's concern that I think that there should be a fair playing field for both the state and the defense. And I want Mr. Senior to have had a chance to review the police reports because, Mr. Senior, this is your life.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want you to have a chance to review that so you can make a decision, an informed decision on how you wish to proceed.
Okay.
So we're going to recall this for Monday.
Excuse me, ma'am. I am in federal court Monday morning. And with regard to your earlier statement about him making a decision about how to plead,
Not how to plead, how to proceed.
Well, no, but earlier than that, you specifically stated
We're coming back on Monday.
his decision to plead true or not true. He has a constitutional right derived from statute to plead not true and place the state to their burden of proof.
But doesn't he also have a right to have read the police reports and reviewed the police reports so he can make a decision on how he wants to proceed on his own case? And what I'm being informed of, and maybe it's not being truthful to me, I don't know. But what I'm being informed of is he has not seen the police reports in this case. Now, if he's seen the police reports prior to today, then let me know and we will continue with this hearing.
It has been discussed with him and he has not actually seen them. It's been discussed with him. And what I'm doing now that caused you to make the inquiry is in response to the officer's testimony prior to my cross-examination of the officer, I'm questioning him about some things in the officer's testimony and the report. And I have to be in federal court Monday morning.
Any days you would like this next week, we can make it good. Just name
Thank
the
you.
time.
All right, so this is what's going to end up happening. This case is going to be recalled. We are not leaving here until, Mr. Senior, you get a chance to review all of the police reports. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any other police report that's related to any witnesses that you all planning on calling other than the police report that has been tendered to Mr. Goki? And for the record, so it can be clear, the court understands that Mr. Goki already has had those police reports, but is there anything else that is coming in by way of evidence or anything else that any of your witnesses will testify to that is in writing?
No, Judge, the report that Officer Muro had, which I believe is the same copy the defense has, includes all the documents that our witnesses will be referring to as far as police reports go.
All right.
I should represent to the court that I've already stated, I have full discovery on this. It happens to be in my Google Drive, which I had trouble accessing from this location, which is why I asked for them in print. I have, as I've told you, what I'm doing here that caused you to believe he had never discussed this fact situation with me. It's something entirely different. And I have to be in federal court Monday morning. And what time is it? Yeah. We can be ready to proceed. I think he will tell you if I can finish asking him about the officer's testimony from my notes.
No, but here's the problem. The court does not feel comfortable with us proceeding when I've just been informed that he has not seen the police reports. So we're recalling this for next week.
What day, ma'am?
And Ms. Ferguson, what day do we have next week to hear this? Mr. Goki is saying he's in
I'm in federal
federal
court
court on Monday.
and it's,
And now this lawyer's doing the unthinkable, arguing with the judge in open court. That's not confidence, that's career suicide. You can see the shift in the room, everyone's just waiting for her to snap because when you challenge a judge in their own courtroom, you might as well start drafting your apology letter to the Bar Association. Almost every time, the judge is right over the lawyer. And in this case, it's not even close. The defendant's visibly furious, shaking his head, rubbing his face, silently asking the universe why he didn't fire this guy sooner. The lawyer keeps rambling excuses about why he hasn't shared reports or prepared properly, but Judge Boyd's not entertaining it. She cuts through the nonsense like a surgeon, reminding him this isn't about his schedule or feelings, it's about due process. And now because of him, the whole hearing's getting delayed. Officers, state attorneys, clerks, everyone has to rearrange their calendars because one man couldn't do his job. And the irony is, he's supposed to be the one protecting his client's right to a speedy trial. Instead, he's the reason this whole circus has to come back for an encore.
let me get my calendar back up and I'll give you the,
And then, Mr. Fuller, hopefully you'll be able to appear in person since Mr. Goki is objecting to your appearing by Zoom.
I did not object to it, ma'am. Mr. Fuller's. What my statement was, there is, and it's Brent Coffey is an assistant attorney general. He is present in the courtroom. And what I said was I didn't object to it, sufficient for my purposes. I didn't object to it.
All
Yes,
right,
Your-
then maybe I misheard. Mr. Fuller?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll be there next
So
week.
Thank you so much.
And the federal case in question is the United States versus Mario Guerra. Yeah, I'm unable to see the cause number here, but it is.
I don't need the cause number.
Yeah.
We're not going to be here on Monday. We're trying to figure out another day in the week for you to be here.
Please.
Will you be available on Tuesday?
Yes, ma'am.
I am in Lee County Tuesday morning.
Is that federal court?
No, it's
Then you will
not
be in
federal
here.
court.
You will be here.
I'm in Lee
Officer, are you
County
able to be
then, and
here?
I am actually ready to proceed now, but it's been a long, laborious task to get a setting in Lee County, which they did especially for me.
Yeah.
And I can't abrogate that, but I can be here on
We're going to be here on
Wednesday,
Tuesday.
ma'am. If I can come in Wednesday, I'm not conflicted out of this.
Your Honor, he works Monday and Tuesdays on shift, but
Well, what is it? Officer, when can you be back then?
Did I check my phone?
Yes.
I could be here Thursday or Friday.
And are you available Thursday or Friday?
Any day, ma'am.
And are you all available Thursday or Friday?
yes, Judge. We won't be driving over from Austin, but we're more than happy to come here in the morning, just in case there's any delays during the day.
Thank you.
The ideal
And,
setting for me of those 2 days is Thursday. I have no settings on that day. I had
Ms.
4
Ferguson,
today.
Thursday or Friday?
I can do Thursdays when we have no,
All right.
he said he doesn't have any settings he needs to be here
Huh.
on Thursday.
And what
Yeah,
are we
that's
doing? What time?
So we can do whatever time in the morning if you want, and we can do in the afternoon.
No, let's not do it in the afternoon. Let's do it at 10:30. Everyone needs to be here at 10:30 a.m. Is that doable? I know you all are coming from Austin.
Yes. 10:30 is perfect. That's-
Hopefully that avoids Austin traffic, which there always is Austin traffic. So we're going to
Yes, Your
start
Honor.
at 10:30. And what we're going to do is we're going to start this hearing over from the very beginning because that will make sure that you reviewed everything, Mr. Senior, okay? So it's going to be as though, for the court, it's going to be as though the testimony has not happened, and we're going to come back on Thursday, all right? Thank you, Mr. Senior.
This whole hearing turned into a hot mess, the kind of procedural disaster that makes everyone double check their calendars and sanity. One man's lack of communication managed to waste an entire courtroom's time. That's not just embarrassing, it's a total failure of responsibility. A defense attorney's job is simple in theory: protect your client and follow procedure. But this guy treated it like a group project he forgot existed until presentation day. He should be owning his mistake, finding a fix, and apologizing to the judge, but instead he's acting like he runs the show. And the reality is, court doesn't bend for egos. Every officer, prosecutor, and witness there had to put their day on hold because of his incompetence. It's a reminder that one person's unprofessionalism ripples across the whole system. What do you think? Should lawyers like this face real consequences, or is public embarrassment enough punishment? Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.